What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. So today we're going to be talking about the best attackers, the best defenders for the upcoming meta for Battlegrounds. This is going to be week 3 and week 4. And we have the same attacker buff, which is, tech champions. When you gain an armor or inflicted armor break, you remove the opponent's prowess. And this is going to be really important for this week because the defenders buffs are actually a lot harder. So starting with escalating prowess, every 5 seconds the defender is going to gain an indefinite prowess, which increases their attack by 10%. So that's honestly not that scary, but with this combination, it is prowess protection. So for every prowess effect, the defender's incoming damage is reduced by 5%. So, basically in a minute, the opponent is going to have like 60% damage reduction. So that's like why you need to utilize this attacker buff this season, because the fights are just not gonna end. Because yeah, damage reduction is crazy. And there's also defenders with prowess on their own, like Bishop and stuff like that, which we're gonna talk about in a second. And there's also window of opportunity. So basically the defender starts the fight stun immune, and then this immunity is gonna last for 12 seconds. And then there is a window where you can stun them, and that window lasts for 12 seconds. And then, again, when those 12 seconds end, there's another 12 seconds of stun immunity. So you don't really want to use champions that rely on stun this season. Or not this season, this week. So what do we need? We need nukes, because we do not want them to get like many prowess and then they don't take any damage. We want prowess removal, nullify, neutralize, and champions that don't rely on stun. So let's start with the science class. So the science class, we have anti-venom, because anti-venom is actually, I think, the only champion that has a stagger, the only science champion that has a stagger on his heavy attack, and he can stack as well. He's got a quick heavy attack, so if you stagger like before the 5 second timer on the prowess, you can remove it, because again, this prowess is a buff. Even though this prowess protection, it's for every prowess effect. So, you can just, if the opponent doesn't have any prowess on their own, you can stagger the nodes, and then they're not going to have any damage reduction. Now we have Cassie. Cassie is pretty fast. She doesn't really rely on stun. You get your opening mostly from heavy attacks and baiting specials, because you can miss the specials as well. I think she's going to work out pretty great. Hulk is a crazy nuke, although with Hulk, if you want to go for the for the stun lock, you have to be careful of this stun immunity, because they also purify the stun when the shield comes back. So you really need to be careful with Hulk. And then there's also, Human Torch. I think Human Torch is going to be great if you don't parry much against Mystics. Geofixit is kind of fast, pretty fast as well. Silk with high rank Silk, I think should be usable, but not really in the best way, because the opponent is stun immune for 12 seconds in the first 12 seconds of the fight, and then they're not stun immune for 12 seconds. So if you can do your rotation in those 12 seconds with Silk, if you can do like a 4-hit combo into a heavy, and then into your relic, and then do another 4-hit combo into your special 2, you can do this, but this is really tough. Like, you need to be super good with Silk. So she's not gonna be the greatest, but she could work, I feel like, in the right hands. Now, Spider-Ham is a nuke. However, Spider-Ham, there is a better chance with your medium attacks if the opponent is stunned to increase the porkers. So basically, if you can't stun on those 12 seconds, you only have a 50% chance on your mediums to apply the porkers. However, and then if you had like the stun, this would increase to 75, which is quite a bit. So Spider-Ham is going to be a little bit slower, but he's like one of the best nukes. And then Spot, she just doesn't rely on stun. I feel like he's gonna be the best nuke in this meta, the best science nuke in this meta, because Spider-Ham is kinda nerfed with not being able to stun. Silk is tough. It's really tough time, and this guy you're not gonna be able to stun lock. So I feel like Spot is gonna be the best nuke for the science class. Now for the skill class, we got Black Cat. So I'm not sure if you can shut down the node with ability accuracy. I would guess you can, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm going to include the champions that reduce ability accuracy, but again, I'm not 100% sure. So Black Cat should work Falcon should work. Crossbones should work if the node can be reduced by ability accuracy. Kate Bishop could work, but keep in mind, Kate Bishop stuns if you parry, so you do not want to do that because, you know, you're going to lose your stun and you're going to get stunned yourself. So she's going to be a little bit tough to use, but you don't really parry with Kate Bishop too much, only if you like want to reset your arrows, but you can do that when like the timer or when that window is open, you know, for the node. And then next up we got Massacre. Massacre is really, really fast. Stealth Spidey is really, really fast. He doesn't really care too much about the damage reduction either. He just ramps up really fast. And then Valkyrie. A really good player with Valkyrie can probably finish the fight still very, very fast. And now moving on to the mutants. There's not too many mutants actually. So Archangel isn't going to be easy to use because you only have 12 seconds. So you need those 12 seconds to like get bleeds, get poison on the opponent, get neurotoxins. So it's probably not a good idea to use him. Same thing with Bishop, because you just don't know, or you don't have too much time to parry, you know, because you stun. So Bishop is not going to be the greatest. Same thing with Archangel. So I included Kitty Pryde because you don't really need to parry. She's pretty fast as well. Red Magneto could be really decent for like the metal champs. He might actually shut down the window of opportunity. I'm not 100% sure on that. I would guess with Pacify you probably can, but I'm not 100% sure. And then I included also Sunspot, but Sunspot, he's still going to be kind of slowed down because you cannot really, you know, heavy and then just charge your heavy to gain power. So he definitely works. He's a nuke, but he's going to be a little bit slower because he's not going to be able to parry. Now, this is the best class for this. So we got Future Ant-Man. He's got his armors. He's going to remove the prowess as he does in this week. Sam Wilson, he's got his armors as well. He should work amazing. Civil Warrior, same thing. He's got armors every 5 hits. There is Howard, there is Hulkbuster, and there's Iron Man. Those guys are going to be super, super great. They all get armors. They apply armor breaks. Very, very good for this meta. I would suggest to put them in the deck if you guys have like a rank 4 or maybe a 7-star Hulkbuster would be nice, you know. And then Nimrod is going to be the MVP of this meta 100%. Same thing with Omega Sentinel. You literally just, you know, do your combos and you gain your armors with Omega Sentinel, apply the debuffs, and you just get furious for doing that. So she's going to be great. There is Rocket. Rocket applies armor breaks with his heavy, so he can remove the prowess as well. It's pretty easy to do. He's a nuke as well, so he should work amazing. This Ultron has an armor up on his parry, so he should work if you don't have better options. Viv Vision steals prowess with her heavy up to 3, which is nice. She's gonna be great as well. War Machine removes with a special 1 with his suppression. She removes prowess. And then Warlock with his special 2. If you're aggressive enough, you can remove 4 prowess with Warlock with 1 special 2, which means the opponent is gonna get 4 prowess every 20 seconds. So if you can like go for a special 2 within the first like 20 or 25 seconds, you should not see too much damage reduction with Warlock. I still think he's going to be great. And then Yondu, he removes prowess as well. And then now we get the Cosmic class, which is not too many champions here. You know, obviously you need a lot of nukes, so I'm just going to include the champions that have so much damage. Like Adam Warlock, he should be really, really fast. I've seen some ascended ones as well. And the good thing about Adam Warlock is you never parry, so because if you parry, you just lose your buffs. So he doesn't care about the window of opportunity. That's great. Then CGR is going to be amazing, obviously. Galen, I think his damage reduction, his harvest damage isn't going to be reduced because it's just like a fixed damage, so it shouldn't reduce it. So he should be great for that. And then we have Hercules. He's got a lot of damage. Obviously, don't need to stun. There's Hulkling. His damage is phenomenal as well. And that is it for the Cosmic class. I'm going to include Ronan as well because I think, you know, Ronan ramps up based on how many buffs the opponent has. Now, the note says that they take 5% less damage for each prowess. So that means the opponent is going to increase their defense, but this guy is going to get increased, or his damage is going to get increased. So I'm not sure. I'm definitely going to try out my 5-star Ascended and see if he's actually worth putting in the deck. And then Mystics. Mystics are amazing for this meta. This meta is mostly Mystics and Techs. So Chavez is good. However, if you try and stun while the opponent is stun immune, you're going to get stunned. So you need to play around the window of opportunity node if you want to build up Chavez's like spells. So she should be decent because, you know, she ramps with every prowess. But keep in mind the stun. Now there's also Claire and Diablo and Doom, which, you know, all of them have Nullify. There is Claire's buff immunity as well. Should work really great. There's also Juggernaut. You know, I always ban my that Juggernaut because he's really fast. He's got staggers. He's got Nullify. He should be amazing. Longshot is really, really good too, with his special too. Mortar ramps as well, based on how many buffs the opponent has. He's gonna probably be the same thing about Ronan, so I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to actually pull it off. I'm definitely gonna try my rank 4 though, for sure. And then there's of course, you know, Rintrah. He has a neutralize, he just doesn't care about the node. There is Sasquatch, which is heavy, he's got a stagger. Sigil Witch and the other Scarlet Witch are gonna be great, especially Sigil. She's just gonna be like super nuke as well. And then there's Hood. Hood can work as well with his bullets. He's got the special too. Tiger and Wiccan have the neutralize. So Tiger, Wiccan, and Rintrah are going to be super important with the neutralize just because of that Gallon. Gallon is going to be crazy on defense, which we're going to talk about the defense now. Those were the best attackers. Now let's talk about the best defenders. So the science class, what do we need for defense? We need champions with a lot of health so that they can prolong the fight. And then they become even more tanky with their prowess. So let's say if the opponent doesn't have like a counter for prowess removal or something. What if you place Eye-Hulk on defense? You know, he's got the second highest health in the game. The fight should last over a minute, which means it's going to last even more because the opponent gets a lot tankier based on the prowess. Now, same thing with Jessica. Jessica is very annoying. You want to like kill her fast, and if you don't, the fight becomes really tough with the unstoppables and the unblockables and all that stuff. And then there's also Joe Fixit, you know, he's got a lot of health as well. He's a 7-star. Now, the best defender, or one of the best defenders in this meta is going to be Thing. Because Thing is immune to Nullify, Stagger, Fate Seal, and Armor Break. So the only way to counter him is if you have a tech champion, and that tech champion gains armor ups. That's literally the only way to remove his prowess. There's no other way. Now, like I said, ability accuracy champions like Black Hat or Falcon, maybe they shut down the node. I'm really not 100% sure. And I'm sorry about that, but we're going to check this out for sure. Because I have a 7-star Falcon as well. I got a Black Hat too. So I might just try them day one, which I'll be streaming later today. And if they work, I guess they're going to be really great Thing counters. But again, I'm not 100% sure. There is also Overseer, which is immune to Nullify. So the only way you can remove his prowess is, again, by getting an armor up or inflicting an armor break. Now we have the skill class, Atuma. You know, I don't think there's a mutant champion that can remove prowess. So Atuma is going to be a pain because you're going to have to go with either class disadvantage or, you know, not class advantage, which means you're going to be taking more Thorns damage. Plus, he becomes tankier and tankier, which means you can take a lot more damage. So Atuma is going to be such a pain. Korg, same thing. The fights just last long with Korg, and now they're going to last longer, you know? Because even if you go with like a tech champion like Omega Sentinel, it's still going to take some time because you don't have class advantage. There's also Kingpin and Moleman where with the window of opportunity, you might not be able to parry, stun them, and like get openings. So it's going to be kind of annoying. You got to intercept against them. There's also Nick Fury, obviously 2 healths. Even though with Nick Fury, he should remove all of his prowess from him when he enters the second life. So at least the second life isn't going to be that big of a trouble. Now the mutants. We got a lot of mutants. So mutants, you know, they all, or not all, but most of them get prowess. So Apocalypse is kind of tanky. He's going to be a bit annoying if you don't actually remove his prowess because his specials, they do hurt. And yeah. So one of the best defenders is going to be Bishop. Because like I said, in this one, for each prowess effect active on the defender, reduce incoming damage by 5%. So let's say he procs like 20 of his passives. He's going to be taking 100% less damage, which is obviously he's not going to go down to 0, but he's going to take like no damage. So Bishop is just an auto ban if you don't have a counter for him. He's going to be very, very crazy. And then there's also going to be Emma Frost. She doesn't, I don't think she gains prowess on defense, but she has like really tough specials. So with a prowess from the node, it should be like scary to fight her. Now there's also Havoc, which gains some prowess, not the hardest champion to fight, but yeah, you know, he kind of needs a counter too. He prolongs the fight with his crit resist and stuff like that. And then something that might be actually really tricky is Jubilee. Jubilee gains a bunch of prowess on defense and really quick. So she's going to take a lot more damage, or a lot less more damage from the average champion. So let's say like she gets like 6 prowess. That's like 30% damage reduction. So you gotta like know how to fight her. I guess change her pre-fights or something, which I don't know how to do, but I might have to learn. So yeah, she could be interesting for sure. There's gonna be Kitty, which she gains prowess. White Mags also gains prowess by his own ability, so he could be a bit annoying. One great defender is gonna be Sauron. He's getting a lot of passives, so more damage reduction. And there's both Storms, they both get prowess. Really annoying. And then Toad, I believe he gets a prowess every time you purify. So he's gonna be placing the poisons on you, and then he's gonna get prowess, which means more damage reduction for him. So far I feel like this meta is gonna be pretty interesting for defenders. Now, the tech class. I included Future Ant-Man because he's actually pretty tanky, and his specials could be annoying, so more block damage means much better defender. Now, there is Guillotine 2099, where you need to knock her down consistently if you don't want her to go invisible. And I included this because, you know, the opponent goes stun immune for 12 seconds. So you're going to have to wait the stun immunity because she's pretty tough to, like, counter the special 2. You can't counter the SP1 to go for a heavy. You can go for the special 2 counter on the heavy, but it's kind of tricky. So she's going to be actually really annoying. She's also a 7-star, so keep that in mind. And then we have Mysterio. He prolongs the fight, which means it's gonna last even longer if you don't have someone that just removes armor breaks. And then we have 2 more. We got Nimrod. He prolongs the fight as well with his unstoppables and stuff like that. And then Shuri. Shuri, the block damage is gonna be massive, and she just doesn't take much damage if she got prowess. So yeah, Shuri's gonna be really tough like she is now. And then the Cosmic class, we have Galen. He's gonna be super crazy. This guy is immune to Fatal and Nullify. And yeah, you know, every time he gets a prowess effect or buff, he's gonna gain Harvest. So that's why I said Wiccan, Tigra, and Rintra are literally the only counters for Galen. Because you can't bring someone with armors against Galen, because he's just gonna get mass. And then you can, I guess, bring a tech champion with armor break, but there's a chance that that champion that applies armor break gains armor ups, like Iron Man, you know, or Howard the Duck. He has armor breaks and armor ups, and you want only armor breaks against Galen because he's just gonna get his harvest really fast if you proc armors. So literally the only way to fight this guy is neutralize, because like every 5 seconds he's gonna gain 1 or 10, I guess, 1 buff, which means 10 from his harvest. So yeah, Galen is gonna be just super crazy. You know, you can counter him with Hood as well. But best champions, definitely the neutralized ones. This guy is going to be the best defender of this meta, 100%. And then we have a few more. Gore, if you don't have a way to remove his prowess, he's going to be taking less damage. And he's actually going to be tough to out-damage because of his own regen. So keep that in mind. Then there's also Hercules and Hulkling. They're really tanky on defense. King Groot has a lot of health. Plus with the damage reduction, it's going to be a pain. If you're running Inequity, Null might be a problem with his damage reduction from Inequity and from the node. Plus, his specials could be kind of tricky. Same thing with Cersei. She's kind of squishy, but the specials are super annoying. She prolongs the fight with a Glancing if you don't have a counter to it. And I feel like she's going to be a pain. And then now, lastly, moving on to the Mystic class. We have Absorber Man. His regen is insane. Plus, with damage reduction, it's going to be even crazier to out-damage it. So, definitely really great. There is also Doom with his annoying specials. If you get clipped by his prowess as well, that's game over. And then I included Ebony Maw, same reason, because of that Guillotine 2099. You gotta knock him down sometimes, you know, and if you're stun immune, you can't. However, you can probably heavy counter his special 1 really easily, so he's not gonna be as annoying as Guillotine, I would say. Kindred, really tough. I mean, especially with some damage reduction, it's gonna be really tough to fight him with, you know, that last 5%. So yeah, definitely an annoying one. Man-Thing is super tanky, and again, more tanky with his damage reduction. Same thing with mcoc, even though mcoc has, you know, his block damage from the special 2. So those prowess, man, that's why we need prowess removal, or just prevent them from triggering. This meta is gonna be something else for sure. Also, Mephisto prolongs his fight, which means it's gonna take you more time to take him down. Mordo, he's got the annoying specials. Rintra and Sasquatch, obviously, yeah, they're gonna be super tanky, and they're honestly, I think we're gonna see a lot of timeouts this season, like this season, or not this season, this week, because it requires, like, you have to have someone that removes prowess, or someone that prevents them from triggering, because like there's no other way. If you don't do that, you're gonna be slower, or you're gonna time out, unless you have like those nuki champions like CGR and stuff like that. But there's not too many that can just finish fights very fast, because even 5 seconds that pass, you deal 5% less damage. So yeah, you just need prowess removal, neutralize, stagger, and then just tech with armor break and armor ups. This meta is going to be really tough, so we're going to be trying it later today. And yeah, I'm really excited, honestly. So hopefully this video helped you guys build that deck. I will be trying my best to go Soldier 5. But I have a feeling my deck is not going to be too stacked, because most of those champions I have are like rank 3s, but I'll try my best. So yeah guys, hopefully the video helped you, and if it did, please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.